It is time to touch our bags and drop our sacks on this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Mailbag time. You got questions. I got answers. You're in luck. We will get right to it coming up in just a moment here on today's show. We're talking everything from some trade ideas you guys have thrown out there to the latest happenings in your favorite team. We'll cover it all here in just a bit. Before we do, I want to make sure not only you're subscribed to the Chiefs Report, but you also have your notifications turned on. You're part of the Noti gang. Those are the folks that never miss a single episode of the Chiefs Report. When we go live every Tuesday, our watch parties every game day, when we have new content with breaking news, our news and rumors, our Q&A mailbags, all of that. And if you want to be part of our next mailbag segment, then turn on your notifications and join us for our next live show. You'll be notified so you can get your questions in, and I'll answer your questions in real time. Subscribe now, turn on notifications. We'll get started with today's show. Rugby Gamer, the first question this week, writes in, do you think Travis Kelce will be the same as he was last year? Do you think Carson Steele is the future for this team? Let's start with the first part of this question, then we'll get to the second part. So last year we saw Travis Kelce have a down year, right? Under 1,000 yards. He did miss 2 games, missed the first game of the season due to injury, sat out the final game of the season because they didn't need him. Their playoff position was already secure. But he still was very good. And then he was fantastic in the postseason. So far this year, what we've seen from Travis Kelce is a slow start the first 3 weeks, and then came to life week 4 against the LA Chargers. I think for Kelce, it's shaping out to be a similar season for him this year compared to last year. The main thing I just need to see from Travis Kelce is that he shows up when it matters. In the big games, come playoff time, especially with how shorthanded this team is right now with no Rashee Rice, with no Hollywood Brown. I need Travis Kelce to show up when it counts, and I think he will. The second part of that question, do you think Carson Steele is the future for this team? No, I don't. No. Isaiah Pacheco is the guy until said otherwise. I love Pacheco. I think he's one of the best backs in football. He was off to a great start at this season before he got hurt. I cannot wait till he returns. I think he's going to have a strong finish to the season. Carson Steele's not bad. He's got to work on the fumbling issues. But Isaiah Pacheco is that guy till proven otherwise. Casey Fandom writes in, could the Chiefs trade for Davante Adams? So, first off, can we all just have a laugh at the Las Vegas Raiders right now? Devante Adams requesting a trade. Ha, 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 ha. The Las Vegas Raiders. The gift that keeps on giving, right? Now, let me say this. The financials do work for potential trade for Devante Adams. He's got no guaranteed money in 2025 and in 2026. The draft capital, I think the Raiders are looking for about a second-round pick potentially. That all adds up. But there's one big issue here. That is the Raiders. And an intra-division rival. I mean, if Mark Davis is going to trade Davante Adams to the Kansas City Chiefs, then his father, Al Davis, is going to rise from the grave and haunt him for the rest of his life. His dad and Raider Nation would never let Mark Davis hear the end of it if he had the balls to trade Davante Adams to the Chiefs. I would take Adams in a heartbeat. It would be great to have Davante Adams in Kansas City, and this would be huge for this team. He'd be a great impact player. He's still one of the best receivers in football. But I just find that hard to imagine, hard to believe that Mark Davis is going to let this good of a talent go to the best team in the NFL who happens to be in his division, who just happens to be their biggest rival. I would love it, but I just don't see it likely. Let's ask you, should the Chiefs trade for Davante Adams? Type Y for yes and for no. Weigh in our pinned comment today. Let us know what you think, if the Chiefs should trade for Davante Adams or not. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in and let us know. Love the Chiefs writes in, should the Chiefs trade for Keenan Allen? Now we're getting a little more reasonable here. Keenan Allen, I'll say this. I've been very disappointed in Keenan Allen. I expected more out of Keenan Allen since he joined the Chicago Bears when he was traded from the LA Chargers this year. But that receiver room is so crowded in Chicago. They brought in Rome Odunze. They got a number of other guys in that receiving room there in Chicago. And Caleb Williams just isn't playing that great to start the season at this point. I think you could potentially get Keenan Allen for pennies on the dollar. I think that's one that makes a ton of sense. There's another player from the Bears that I'd be potentially interested in trading in. That's Khalil Herbert as well. And I'll say this, the Bears, this is a team that doesn't look that great. The expectation was for the Bears that they could contend for the playoffs this year. That's kind of looking unlikely right now. They might be sellers at the deadline. Keenan Allen, a good possession receiver. I know he struggled to stay healthy at times, but Keenan Allen could make a lot of sense. I'd be for that. Should the Chiefs trade for Keenan Allen? What do you guys think? Type T for trade, P for pass. Weigh in. Let us know if the Chiefs should trade for Allen or not. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're looking for tickets to Kansas City Chiefs games, Royals games, Sporting Kansas City, KC Current, and more, they got you covered. You choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. Then you choose your seat, see if you like that seat or not, get the 3D visual with their seat views, and then you're checking out on Game Time with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals and great seats. You don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. You also got to check out their super deals. If you see a super deal, that's going to be one you don't want to pass up on. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Got time for a few more questions here. Let's start with about time. Where did Hill say he was trade hunting? I didn't hear him say he was trade hunting. I don't know where that came from about time. We did hear Devante Adams requested trade. But Tyreek Hill, trade hunting, I wouldn't say he was necessarily trade hunting. But if you go back to Monday night, he was visibly upset. And there's a bit of trouble in paradise in Miami right now as that season is going downhill, going down the drain quickly in Miami here. I would love Tyreek back in Kansas City. I think he'd be welcome back here with open arms. If he were to return, he's going to be in the Ring of Honor one day. He's one of the greatest Chiefs of all time. But the financials for both sides, for both the Chiefs and the Dolphins, just don't make a ton of sense for a potential trade. Ruby Gamer writes in, do you think Isaiah Pacheco will be back before the Tampa Bay Bucs game? I am not a doctor, so I don't know. I would hope. I can remain hopeful. I can be optimistic, but we haven't got any clear and direct signs yet of when that return will be, but we'll kind of just wait and see at this point when it comes to Pacheco. It's too early to tell, but if he could be back for the Bucs game, that would be great if the Chiefs could get him back and go forward from there, because this run game is totally different with and without Isaiah Pacheco. He's a top 10 back in this league. He is the heart of this offense. You got to run the football in this league. And the Chiefs, one of the things they've adjusted when they've been shorthanded these receivers the last few years is they've become a run-first football team. They run the football up in the passing game. They need Pacheco back. Last question. Bryant wants to know, Patrick Mahomes win the MVP this year still? It's going to be tough. He's not off to a good start to this season, statistically speaking. He has rallied his team to win games. That's the all-important thing that matters. But, you look at what's ahead, and with how shorthanded that receiving core is, the offense just not being that explosive, and the way that he's been outplayed by other guys, it would be very hard to imagine Patrick Mahomes winning the MVP this season. I don't think it's going to happen. Could it happen? He'd have to cut back on turnovers, and the offense would have to get more explosive. and some of the other guys had to slow down a bit. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. But at the end of the day, I don't really care about the MVP award. I care about the Lombardi Trophy and Mahomes getting the Super Bowl MVP. That's the only MVP award that matters. So we'll see. Subscribe now to the Chiefs Report for the latest happenings in your Kansas City Chiefs all season long. I'm Tyler Jones. We'll see you next time.